J.
Stories tonight from 4 races using cheap cameras like these and almost no money. Champagne TV on a beer budget. In tonight's stories, Claudia Rowe has a heart-to-heart on the docks of Oslo, Daniel Marsden profiles a schoolboy on the banks of the River Ganges, and John Safran gets tips on seduction from a Lebanese love machine. But first, let's meet the 3 industry heavies who'll be giving points out of 20 for each story. The award-winning director of Malcolm, The Big Steal and Mr. Reliable, Nadia Tass. Triple J's movie reporter, the Bill Collins of the Prodigy set, Mr. Movies, Pete Castaldi. And the return of the most loved man in the country. He's been away and now he's back. And this time, it's personal. Please welcome back the distinguished feature film and documentary maker, David I've Got to Be Me, Caesar. Olivia Rousset kicks off tonight from her ancestral home of Mauritius. In Mauritius, the Rousset family are legends. Legends on the track, that is. Mauritians are passionate about horse racing. One of Olivia's cousins runs Rousset's stables. Another is a steward who sometimes passes on tips to a guy called RV.
Horse racing is a national obsession in Mauritius. RV, a local zugadaire or gambler, spends half his week in his Grombe video store painstakingly calculating the odds for Saturday's race meeting.
First, what I do with the entries, I just put the reference of the horse which I like in the race so that I can check it on the movie.
That's Mr. Moneybags?
Yes, Mr. Moneybags. You see, I tape every race meeting once finished. I study the film. If I am still doubtful about the horse, I just watch the film again.
Thursday, the betting begins.
Since I was a child, I was always interested in horse racing, and then when I opened the video shop, jockeys come to take movies, so it just started like this. So during the weekdays, sometimes I go to Club Med, where always action there. When you bet, it's different sensations, not like you see watching a movie, just like killing the time. I decided on the 6th race.
Yep.
The horse name is Mr. Moneybags.
So this time Mr. Moneybags is going to do it?
I think so. This time he will be in form. The main rival is Blazing Spirit. Nearly everybody likes playing. The most popular sports in Mauritius is horse racing.
Motion people are big players.
What do you think his chances of winning are?
I think he's a bit too short for him. He's a bit of a one-pacer. If he can set his own pace, he'll be fine. But there's a couple of fast horses in the race, so I don't think he'll be covered early.
Joel Telila. He says that if Mr. Moneybags wins, he'll invite all of us to dinner.
Either you lose or you win. But maybe I'm going to cover another horse in the same race. I will play, I think, Blazing Spirit.
Mr. Moneybags! Mr. Moneybags! Mr. Moneybags!
If I have not covered it, I have lost. So I got my money back plus a little profit.
Now I came back 4th or 5th.
By the beginning of the 8th race, Avi has made 5,000 rupees, about $350. He then decided casually to bet 3 times that on a horse named Glenville in the last race.
What's how much I put on? 15,000.
And
That's profit plus capital. Either I win or I just. I am prepared to lose 10,000, so I must take the risk. If I win, I just keep the money and wait for next meeting.
with over $4,000 in his pocket, a seemingly nonplussed RV went back to finish the day at his video shop.
I enjoy racing. I don't drink, I don't smoke, so for me it's like pleasure, a hobby.
Any surprises today on the horse races?
Not
And that was Olivia Rousset in Mauritius. Over to you, Nadia.
Yeah. I thought it was really well presented, very carefully thought out. The introduction was fantastic. Her finish was really good. This story was very much about obsession. And what I found I lacked was an emotional commitment, an emotional involvement. And I think it was just sort of a little bit too neat. There was nothing spontaneous in there for me. So I gave it a 12.
12. OK, Peter.
Well, I love Olivia's work. I think what she does beautifully. She knows how to use the camera. She's demonstrated before that she can get close to people. And it's nice to know that people punt all around the world. I'd love to see some of the dancing going on at Moonee Ponds every now and again. I think it might liven up Australian horse races. But given that Olivia actually has family in Mauritius, I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more personal. So technique I thought was fabulous, but again, I agree with Nadia, it lacked a little bit of soul. So I've gone for 14.
14. David.
I'm going to split the difference and go for 13. I thought it was well put together, it was well constructed, well shot, but it just left me a bit cold. I mean, and it wasn't particularly Mauritius. I mean, I have seen people hopping up and down like that at Canterbury and at Rose Hill and stuff. I mean, I just don't think it was a particularly Mauritius story, and I just didn't get a sense of him as really a character. I guess that's what I was missing.
All right, that gives us 39 points then for Olivia Rousset. Next up is John Safran, who's in Lebanon this time. In some Islamic countries, a man is permitted to take more than one wife. It's a sensitive issue that can create a great deal of tension within families and the society as a whole. Thank God we can rely on a sweet, delicate thing like John to handle the difficult issue of polygamy with the sensitivity it demands.
Muhammad has 3 wives. So what's his secret to busting a move?
Bust it. Is it good looks? Is it personality or perhaps,
كيف بتحكي؟
perhaps he's a moustache?
Seriously, don't do this in a sarcastic way. Because if you do this in a sarcastic way, I'll tell you. It's like people, there's going to be so much anger and so much, uprise because it is a sensitive issue.
Were you happy that he went to marry a second wife?
هي كانت مبسوطة بس اتجوزت الثانية. Ask her. No.
Your wife, she might not like the idea of having someone else, but then in time she'll get used to it. It's better than being shocked that you're in an affair.
It's a bit hypocritical to criticise having a man having 3 wives when maybe in Australia a man would have 1 wife and 1 girlfriend or more.
It is.
What did you say to him?
شو قلت لي له؟ شو أنتِ قلت لي له؟ What could she say? She didn't say nothing.
And is this one of the bedrooms?
That's one of the bedrooms. The bedroom for the second wife.
For the second wife?
Yeah.
So here's another bedroom. And where do you sleep?
Wherever he feels like it, anytime.
This is, look, I'll show you the picture. This is...
فرجيك صورتها
That's, her name's Olivia Rousset. She's that one.
Bust it.
Right away.
With good, good talking.
Good talking, sweet.
Sweet talking.
But what kind of sweet? Like, for example, when you met this lovely wife of yours, what did you say to her when you went up to her?
Your chick walks by, you wish you could sex her, but you still
Yeah, I love her. He says, just play hard to get and she'll come right after you.
Do you talk a lot amongst each other, the women in the family?
بتحكوا انتم مع بعض كتير Yeah, it's normal.
Wow. And if you've got a complaint about Muhammad, do you discuss it with each other?
إذا عندك يعني شيء بدك تقولي على محمد بتحكيها مع بعض؟
لا. No. It's like they just say you think his moustache is getting too bushy and it's scratching when he's kissing.
إذا يعني مثل شواربه هيك كبار كتير وبس يبصك هيك عم يرعوكي She said she doesn't want to talk about it.
She doesn't want to talk about his moustache.
You're having a go at all these people, aren't you?
No, I'm not. Can I just point out to all my fellow Jews that even though, yes, every Lebanese person I met was a total nutcase, every one of you I've ever met has been a total nutcase too. So don't get any smug sectarian satisfaction out of all of this. And to keep the Noam Chomsky and Edward Said groupies happy, I should also point out that Lebanon is a very diverse country filled with many Christian and Muslim groups, and only a small proportion of these Muslims are in polygamous marriages.
She won't let her daughter, have her to do what happened to her.
You wouldn't like you'd like your daughter to just be the only wife with a husband, and you wouldn't be happy if she was one of 3 wives with a husband.
ما بتريديها تكون مثل.
No, but why not? ليه؟
قولي هيك. هيك. Because.
This is to mother you.
And you can expect to see John trying out his new moves in a nightclub near you, David.
Do I have to?
Yeah, go for it.
I hated it.
You hated it?
I thought it was shithouse camera work. I thought, it's just a standard thing of a smart-ass Westerner going in and taking the piss out of a soft subject, I mean, like Arabs are just easy to take the piss out of if you come from a Western country. I just don't think he likes people. I thought there was just this sense of every cliche he could stick in there, he went for, and then he stuck these trite little bits to sort of say, see, look, I'm really going to take the piss out of my own race as well.
Do you think it wasn't so much a soft subject as a tense subject, though?
No, I mean, I didn't know anything at the end of that I didn't know before at the beginning of it. And he seemed, I don't know whether it's his personal trademark to have really bad camera work and bad sound and make as many choices as he can that doesn't show anything of the country or anything of the geography or anything really of their lifestyle, other than just the cliches that people have in their minds to begin with.
And out of 20?
6.
6? Whoa! Lowest ever. Pete?
Well, I like John. I think he makes home movies with attitude, and I think he does it very, very well. The only thing that really disappointed me about this one was the fact that he seems to have re-embraced his Jewish faith. Now, I thought the guy was a Protestant. And I disagree with David. I did know things at the end of the story that I didn't know at the beginning. I sort of had some insights into how these women feel about it, and I liked the fact that he'd found someone who was going to take him on and make sure that he wasn't just in there doing the kind of white, westy, whiny Jewish guy trip on a Muslim family.
And out of 20, what would you say?
I'll give him 14.
14. Okay, Nadi, out of 20.
9.
9.
The only bit that I liked in this was the integrity of the woman. I really don't know who I disliked more, John or Muhammad.
Wow. Okay. What about the fact that he was able to actually get that woman to talk about such a difficult issue? Do you think that was...
He didn't. She didn't talk about a difficult issue at all.
Well, she was about to. I always got the feeling she was about... Yeah.
But she didn't.
Okay.
And he didn't have the skill to actually bring it out of her.
Okay. Well, sadly, this story was late, so John takes a 2-point deduction for giving the production crew migraines, ulcers and a gastric reflux as well, giving him a total now of 27 points. Ooh. Claudia Rowe went to Norway to do a story on love. She met a young man who agreed to talk about anything except love and then took off fishing. Heartbroken yet undaunted, Claudia set off for Oslo's famous amusement park, Viking Land. All she came back with was a stupid hat with some horns on it. On her last day, in a blind panic, she went to the docks and there she met Annalisa.
Well, I met him on the plane. His guitar was in my seat. And I thought it was love when he flicked a mosquito off my sock. But I was wrong. He's Norwegian and he's gone fishing.
So quiet. So I decided to find out more about life, love and fish in Norway.
Don't you worry, Claudia. There's plenty of fish in the ocean.
Do you believe that's true, that saying?
Of course you have to believe that, oh, Jesus, today I'm dying because I'm so sad. But we have to believe that there's other people for us then. If not, people would would be dead, you know. Yes. Han kom av.
Oh, what happened?
No, I lost him.
What is your name?
My name is Annalisa.
Can I ask you about love in Norway?
Well, yes. But I'm not the right one to ask me because I'm a lesbian.
Lesbian? Well, what about lesbian love?
I told my mother when I came back from the United States, I was 23, that I am a lesbian. And she said no. I was very depressed, of course. If I wanted to, I could find a boy, get married, and have kids, a normal or ordinary life. But why should I? Why should I? When men's was not my favorite. When you are in love, I mean real love, the one love that when you see it and you feel it and it's electric moment, you turn around as a person. When love comes to you, it comes to you, you know? When it's the destiny or whatever. I lost it again. Along the way, all the fun I had, I learned to drink. So I became an alcoholic and I had to go through a program and I stopped. So now I'm not so out so much anymore. I'm scared to get back to all the fun. You ask if it was lonely, that is lonely. To become an alcoholic, that is lonely. That's loneliness. In 2 years I've been living in some kind of a school, hospital because of my alcoholism. In the beginning I was so frightened for myself and I was so happy to get there so somebody could help me, but now it's boring. No more fishing today, but I have been a wreck, yes. Because when you drink and you drink much and you are by yourself, you get screwed in your head. So that was take time to get back to normal. I love to ride on this. This is difficult, and I am difficult. My story is difficult, so we go along. This is too easy. No, we're not friends. All my life I wanted to write a book. All my life, that's my dream. And this is a purse, 200 years old, and on the back it says, a castle never falls, a ruin never falls. So it doesn't matter what shape I'm in, I'm never gonna fall down. A ruin never falls down.
And that was Claudia Rowe in Oslo. Nadia.
I absolutely loved it.
Yep.
I thought her camera work was wonderful. I always knew where I was. Her detail was impeccable. She introduced us to Annalisa, and in a short period of time, I actually got to know this character and know so much about her.
A ruin never falls.
Oh,
yeah.
It's beautiful. There's some memorable material in there. 16.
16. Pete.
All those fish in the sea and neither Annalisa or Claudia can catch any of them. The perpetual quest for love. Again, I agree, you know, beautiful story, wonderful character. I think I have a really strong feeling that luck has a lot to do with what Claudia comes up with every now and again, and I think she was very lucky this time to find Annalise just sitting on the docks fishing 16 as well. 16. David?
I'm going to be a cliche and say 16 as well. But I don't think it was about luck. I think it was about, I think that she's a great character, but she told the story really well. She was able to make it interesting. She did a lot of different camera angles that sort of gave a really strong sense of the world that she lived in, both on the wharf and in the flat. She used a lot of interesting angles that sort of set up the environment and the lifestyle that she had. And she got a lot of really beautiful, humorous and human moments out of it. I thought it was
lovely.
good.
Okay, well, that gives us 48 points then for Claudia Rowe. Cool. Round of applause. Finally, we've got Daniel Marsden in Varanasi, India. Devout Hindus believe that Varanasi was founded by Shiva, Lord of the Universe, and many undertake a pilgrimage to bathe in the waters of the sacred river Ganges. Daniel was sitting on the balcony by the river when a monkey stole his drink, and then he met Raj.
Well, it's a quick haircut and then off to Nepal. Just finished the film here. Hope you like it. I met Raj one morning when he decided to join me on my boat trip along the Ghats, the steps leading down to the River Ganges. There was something about Raj which fascinated me, perhaps his slightly blasé attitude towards the tall Aussie with the whiz-bang video camera. Although I think more the realisation that when I was 10, my greatest concerns in life were finishing my homework in time for Monkey Magic and Roger Ramjet, and that this certainly wasn't the case with my new mate Raj.
So I buy color, or I take color money, and profit money I give mother.
And what does your mother use the money for?
Like food, school fees.
Does your mother work also?
Yes, my mother also work.
So for 5 years your father has been without a job?
Yes, no job, no working. Just every day sit house. छत पर सोया था हम घर में आए तो मेरा पापा बोले कि जाओ पानी लेकर आओ तो हम बोले कि हम अभी नहीं जाएंगे थोड़ा देर के बाद तो मेरे पापा बहुत चिल्ला कर बोले तो मम्मी बोले कि क्यों चिल्ला कर बोलते हो थोड़ा धीरे बोला करो इसीलिए लड़ाई हो गया.
Your mother was angry at your father for yelling at you?
Yes. He says, speak, just you sit, no working, and you everybody speak, go bring water like this. He said, I don't like this every time, fighting every time. No, not stop, every time. Why no give money, my father speak. I say, why no you doing for job? He says, speak, I'm not doing, for me are very old. I speak, not you old. Very, very old man now selling everything. And you now sitting. He says, speak, I don't like working. Morning time, 7:30, I go school.
Do you like school?
Yes, I like school. I like for teacher. So my two teacher is, I like it. My school, everybody, every boy, rich boy. I am poor boy, he don't like me. I don't know why he don't like me.
What do they say?
Nothing say. He don't looking me and I don't looking him. Just class going, I sit for last seat and he sit every first seat. I have no games. Every boy like for games, play games. But I have no games, I don't play. Tomorrow my first time for nice shoes, nice dress. One friend give me clothes, everything.
One tourist?
Yes, one tourist. His country Thailand, name is Marx.
I'm still confused, Raj. Why aren't you going to school today?
Because my teacher say your bag very dirty, don't come class. So I don't go. I go house, change this, then after I go selling for color. Yes, I buy new bag, then after I start school.
Daniel pitched in for a new school bag for Raj. What a nice guy, David.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was beautifully shot. I thought it was beautifully structured. I thought there was a really nice sense of dignity to it. There was a sense of someone going in there and not judging him or judging his world. And even it had that sort of bittersweet ending that had the quality of this sort of kid not ever giving up. And there was always this sort of sense of his dignity and the way he shot him, the way he composed the shots with him on the river and so on, and the way he put all those still shots of him from the river and that without... That gave it a lot of respect and a lot of dignity. I'm going to give it 18.
18. Peter?
Well, I don't know if you could ever expect to get the feeling of a nation and a life into a 4-minute film, but I think Daniel's done it. You know, I felt that even in just that short period of time, he revealed to me so much more about this kid, so much more about where he was coming from and where he could possibly go to, his determination. It was beautifully shot, beautifully structured. Has anyone ever given a 20 in this show?
No.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
20.
20. Nadia?
I follow suit, 20.
20?
Raj has spirit. Raj's dad is a waste of time, but this boy's going to survive. I really thought it was fantastic.
Nice images?
Beautiful camera work, always knew what was going on, and fantastically structured. I really think it's brilliant.
Well, like John, Daniel was late with this one, and in spite of getting an all-time high for that film, because it's for the second time he's late, Daniel has to cop a 3-point deduction, giving him a total of 55 points for that story from India. Well, we just took the studio audience vote on the most popular film here tonight with the audience, and the winner tonight was Daniel Marsden. And in the judges' scores, in a night of historic highs and lows, we have Daniel Marsden on 55 points, Claudia Rowe on 48, Olivia Rousset on 39, and John Safran on 27. And that's it for this week. Please thank our judges, Nadia Tass, Pete Castaldi and David Caesar. Coming up in next week's show, Kim Trail meets an Afghani exile on the Pakistan border, and Scott Herford profiles a 7-year-old boy among the pissed backpackers of EOS. And there'll be stories from Ben and Bentley as well. Thank you and good night. Race Around the World will be back next year, and we'll be looking for 8 new races. To apply, you must be between 20 and 30 years old and not a full-time media professional. If you want an application form, call this number. You can also download and print out the application form from the ABC's website.